Echoes of a forbidden love. They say if you go to the Baobab tree near Gulu village at dusk, you can hear her song, soft, haunting, filling the air like it never left. She's gone now, but somehow, she's still there. I didn't believe it either. Not until I saw it with my own eyes. His name was Daniel, the missionary's son. Young, restless, with skin that burned under the African sun and pale eyes that looked at everything with a kind of wonder. He and his father came from somewhere far away, claiming they'd been sent by God to show us the true path. But we already had our ways, our spirits. The land, the ancestors, they were our guides. Daniel didn't understand this, and maybe that was his curse. One day, he saw her. Kaya, the spiritualist's daughter. She wasn't like the other girls, quiet and obedient. Kaya was fierce, with eyes like the night sky and a way of walking that made you think she was listening to things no one else could hear. She wasn't afraid of the spirits, she walked with them. Her mother was the village spiritualist, the one people called on when the rains wouldn't come or when curses needed lifting. Kaya would take her place one day. Everyone knew that. But Daniel, he saw something else. He saw her near the river one afternoon, washing clothes with the other women. I was there too, close enough to hear him call out, "Kaya." The women gasped, some whispered in shock. A missionary boy calling out to the spiritualist's daughter. That wasn't just bold, it was foolish. Kaya turned slowly, her eyes meeting his. "What do you want?" I just wanted to talk," he stammered, his face red as the clay earth. She tilted her head, a hint of a smile tugging at her lips. "Talk? About what?" "You're a missionary's son. Go and pray." He took a step closer, hands shaking. "I want to understand your ways, your spirits." The other women laughed, muttering that he'd get himself cursed. But Kaya just watched him with that steady gaze of hers. "Spirits are not for you," she said softly. "You don't believe in them." But Daniel kept coming back. He'd watch her from a distance, ask her questions whenever he could. He would try to explain things too, quoting verses from his father's Bible, calling her ways idols and false gods. Kaya would laugh, a sound that carried both amusement and pity. "What do you know about gods, Daniel?" she would say. "You came here with your church and your crosses. But our gods were here long before yours." It wasn't long before the elders noticed. Kaya's mother warned her, told her to stay away from him. But the more forbidden their love became, the closer they drew. Their late-night meetings by the river, their whispered secrets, they were a spark ready to burst into flame. One night, Daniel did something reckless. He brought his Bible, clutched it tight, and stood outside Kaya's hut. "Kaya," he called, voice low but firm. "Come out. I have something to show you." She stepped out, her face shadowed by the moonlight. "Daniel, go home. You don't belong here." "But I love you," he blurted, his eyes filled with something desperate, something wild. "I want you to live this life, these spirits. Come with me. We can be saved." Kaya's face hardened, her voice low. "Saved? From what?" "From the darkness," he said, holding out his Bible as if it were a shield. "This is the truth. Your spirits, they're false. Dangerous. She laughed then, but it was a sad laugh. Dangerous. You don't know the first thing about danger, Daniel. She turned to walk away, but he grabbed her arm. You have to choose, Kaya. Me or this. He gestured around, his face twisted in frustration. She looked down at his hand on her arm, then into his eyes. You don't understand. The spirits are my blood. You can't save me from myself. But he didn't listen. And that night, he made a vow. He swore to his father that he would save her soul, no matter what it took. And so, he began praying for her, fasting, calling out her name in the dead of night as if he could summon her through prayer. Then came the night of the full moon, when the veil between our world and the spirit world is thin. Daniel went to the village center, clutching his Bible so hard his knuckles turned white. He called out, Kaya. I'm here to save you, to save this village. You don't know what you're risking. Kaya and her mother appeared, stepping into the moonlight. Her mother's face was calm, but her eyes were filled with something ancient, something dark. Kaya, this is the last time, she said, her voice carrying the weight of generations. You have to choose. This boy is playing with things he cannot understand. Kaya looked at Daniel, her face torn, but her eyes were steady. You don't belong here, Daniel. But Daniel didn't back down. I belong wherever you are, he said, voice shaking. I'll bring you to the light. Kaya's mother shook her head, muttering something in the old language, words that sent a chill through me. You want to see light, she hissed. Then see what you have summoned. The air went still, heavy, and thick. Daniel's eyes widened, but he kept muttering verses under his breath, clutching his Bible tighter. Kaya's mother raised her hands to the sky, whispering something only the spirits could hear. Suddenly, Daniel cried out, clutching his chest. He staggered back, eyes wide with terror. Your gods can't help you here, boy, her mother said softly, her voice full of pity and power. Daniel's face twisted in pain as he looked at Kaya, his hand reaching out. Kaya, please, help me. Kaya stepped back, tears glistening in her eyes, but she said nothing. I told you, Daniel. Some things are not meant for you. They found him the next morning by the Baobab tree, his Bible clutched to his chest, his eyes wide open and empty. Kaya was gone. Some said her mother took her into the spirit world to protect her. Others whispered she walked into the forest and vanished. But at dusk, if you're brave enough, you might hear her by the tree. The haunting melody of a love that crossed boundaries it should never have touched. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of African folklore with Echoes of Africa. If you enjoyed the story, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode.